They've won Tonys and Oscars and Emmys and Grammys. There's no red carpet because they're home in their jammies. From Melrose Place to Broadway to Janeway and her crew. Let Seth and James bring all the stars to you.
Anywho,
they're entertaining everyone, so who's gonna grouse? Just sit right back and you'll hear some tales on Stars in the House.
Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh. You know what I just realized, Seth?
Different chairs.
I brought in the other chairs. Seth's been having major sciatica issues. So he was like, he thought it was the chairs that were the problem.
I got these really cheap chairs, but they were sort of pretty, but I'm wondering if they're killing my leg.
Except now what I just realized
they're the wrong height.
Is yes. So I'm either going to have to slump down the entire time, or I'm going to have to go get the crappy blue chairs.
You just really get intense, Walter Cronkite style.
Okay. Kristen Chenoweth, tell us what you've been doing since the last time you were on Stars in the House.
By the way, we just literally got out of the shower. Look how wet our hair is. And each of the who.
Well, it doesn't help that Julie has not cut our hair. We literally have a graduate from cosmetology school 5 feet away. She's in the credits as doing hair and makeup, as if we get makeup done, though, by the way, we should.
Yeah.
Has not done
She does cut her hair, but it's just on her own schedule.
Yeah, right. But I mean, to get a credit, come on Stars in the House, you got to cut the hair more than once a month.
Julie, you're being outed.
Except that unlike the beginning, when Julie watched every episode, Julie most likely has no idea that
she doesn't even know the show's still on. Anyway, hey guys, so what is Stars in the House? Stars in the House, we're about to have our 1 year anniversary. We began when everything shut down because the Actors Fund, we knew would need desperate help because everybody in the arts can get help from the Actors Fund.
Keep going because I literally have to go to get the chair because my head is going to be cut off the whole time.
Okay.
Continue.
I'm a short ass, so it doesn't matter. The Actors Fund helps everybody in the arts. So no matter what you do, you can go to the Actors Fund for help on stage, backstage, front of house, orchestra, in front of the camera, behind the camera. A lot of people think it's just theater. A lot of people think it's just California, New York. It's across the country. No matter where you work, whatever you do in the arts, you can go to actorsfund.org and just tell them, I can't pay my rent.
Excuse me.
It's okay.
Keep going.
Oh my God, that chair's so big. Watch out, watch out, watch out. Literally lights. Hold on.
Action, go.
We have our tech team. Anyway, you can go to actorsfund.org and, to pay your rent, to pay your medical bills, to pay for your groceries. By the way, and they're actually starting their second round now. If you've already gone to the Actors Fund for help, they will help you again. If you can give some help, tonight is an amazing night to do it because we have a matching donation.
Yes, Glenn Gunderson. He $1,500 last night wasn't enough. He's coming back for another match tonight. Thank you, Glenn.
So everything you send in, no matter what you send in, you send to starsinthehouse.com. You're going to get a receipt. Forward your receipt to donations@starsinthehouse.com, and then maybe Kristen will read the donation on a high E flat, no vibrato, or perhaps Andrew will set it to music. Lipa, that is. But anyway, so for those donations.
Yes. So we got our. This doesn't include this amount I'm about to read. Does not include last night's total, but it's up to yesterday afternoon.
How much we've raised in the last
for the Actors Fund. That's
year.
right, and
not including all the nonprofits we've been raising money for once in a while.
Right, which is a little over $200,000. We are up to for Stars in the House Actors Fund $718,635.
Ooh, we're so close to what I kept saying was $250,000. So Christine Petty was like, "You mean three quarters?" I'm so bad at math. We're almost at $750,000 for the Actors Fund. P.S. That's kind of a drop in the bucket for the Actors Fund because they're doling out crazy amounts of money.
They've given out in the first year $20 million.
Yeah. So we want to raise $1 million kind of on the soon side.
And I don't know, David, if we have it up for regarding health insurance, put it on the screen right now, because I don't know if you saw, but Jason Daniely posted about his weeks for health insurance are running out, and he's going to have to do Cobra, which is expensive, which is one of the things that the Actors Fund is helping people with, because each month that goes by now that it's been a year of theater closed, more and more, even though we know the Actors Fund is for everyone in entertainment, every professional entertainment, theater is hit the hardest. And you
get your health insurance by the amount of weeks you work. So since no one has worked in the last year, in theater, basically, I mean, there has been some TV and film.
That's what I'm saying.
Theater people are out. I mean, Judy Kuhn, everyone is posting about their health insurance is out. So the more, and the Actors Fund can help you, by the way, negotiate getting health insurance and also help you pay.
I know that I showed this last night, but now it really is officially a year. So this was the Daily News, where it says Broadway goes dark and gatherings of 500 or more banned. And when I opened it, Seth, and I read it just a minute ago, the article, the headline inside is, for at least 1 month, Broadway only full of empty stages.
Wow. We thought it was going to be a month.
Yeah, we thought it was going to be a month.
Ooh, girl. It's almost going to be a year. It's been a year, and then our show began a year. This Tuesday is going to be our 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, and Dr. LePook had a really good point. Yeah, the last night, and that is for our 1-year anniversary, which is on Tuesday. It's sort of like, well, now it's Red Bucket Follies, Gypsy of the Year, Red Bucket Follies, where there is a moment of silence. Judith Light, a lot of times leads, and because I mean, you've hosted it for over 10 years, and it is a celebration.
Yeah.
But
that's people who passed away from AIDS.
Right. But it's also a commemoration of why the whole thing began. And I feel like that Stars in the House. It's like we do celebrate theater and we celebrate the arts, and we're really proud of that. And we're proud of Dr. LePook and grateful for him. But this all began and has continued with well over 500,000 people having died just in the United States alone. There should be a moment of silence.
Yeah, so, we'll do that for our 1 year.
So that's on Tuesday.
Okay, so I think that's all we have to handle, right?
I think that's all we need to handle.
Keep sending those donations in and forward those receipts, donations@starsinthehouse.com, and then we'll have them. Oh, thank you, David.
That's right, because everything else I want to just talk about with Kristen, including this is literally, I mean, the last episode of our what's otherwise known as the first season, because we start our second season of Stars in the House on Tuesday. So it's very appropriate that Kristen Chenoweth, who was here for our very first Saturday of Stars in the House, is here for our last Saturday for our first year. And
on Broadway, there's an expression, Saturday night on Broadway, SNOB. So Kristen redubbed this Saturday night because of her acoustics, Saturday night in bathroom. So instead of SNOB, it is SNIB. So this is the re-emergence of SNIB. So please welcome to the stage. By the way, I've never seen better lighting because I can see her on the camera.
We've all gotten better lighting, right, Kristen?
Yeah, but hers is like much better. Please welcome Ms. Kristen Chenoweth.
Hi. I'm in my bathroom in LA.
Oh. She's got daylight too. She's got going on.
Yes, it's all, no, it's me. I just glow this way. I didn't know if y'all know that. This is me.
Really? Turn the camera around and let me see what's actually.
Hell no.
Thank you. Hi, Chris.
Hi, babes. How are my boys?
Oh, can you believe it has been a year?
No, I can't. I remember when we first got on. Do you guys remember this? And I said, we'll do SNIB, and Josh and I'll commit to doing SNIB. And we thought 2 months, maybe. You know, remember those days, 2 months? And bless you guys. You're so precious. After 6 or 7 weeks, I think, Josh is here with me. I was like, I think I might be going crazy. And you guys were so gracious, and you said, you know, Cheetah wants to do the show this Saturday, and let's hand it off to her. And I was relieved because I love SNIB. I love what y'all are doing. As you know, I'm pretty blown away at your tenacity and the information that you keep giving so clearly. Something that I forget about is the insurance weeks. I'm not saying, oh, I just don't remember. I remember. Maybe I'm in denial, but people are, you know, our Broadway stars are really, we are tenacious. We do not go away easily into the night, but I know that people are, it's not fun. Joke's over.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Look at that blank
Frozen.
face. Not since the Annie TV movie. Have I seen a blank face like that when you were Lily?
I bought this purse out of pure desperation, just trying to live an old life. It's a purse, but the joke's over. I want to wear my shoes. Okay. I want to go to lunch. I want to work out at an actual gym. I want to hug somebody. I want to talk to the person at Gelson's and say, yes, that's me. I want it to I'm done. Yeah. Is anybody else done?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are done. I'm just trying to think. I don't know how done I am.
Well,
I guess I'm prepared. I'm just waiting. I'm prepared.
I don't know what to say because I sound spoiled. I'm done. Well, but I am.
You know, Dr. LaPook said it really well early on and has said throughout, which is there's a beginning, middle, and end. And the good news is he said several weeks ago, we are at the beginning of the end.
I don't
or he might have
remember
even
that.
said the middle of the end. But
That's
I mean,
amazing.
we're in the last part.
Okay.
So that's the good news that we have.
Do I still have time to get my body all back in shape and everything?
Oh, we're transitioning to character roles these days, Kristen. Just so you know, join me. I'm like now the wacky next door. Like you only kind of see me from the neck up. So just stop. I've accepted it.
I'm ready to transition, but it's not happening. It's just not happening. I mean, I got a part the other day in film and TV for I can't even say it, a person that should not be my age, should be younger. And in Hollywood, that rarely happens. You know, they make people like me feel like we're dinosaurs. So I was shocked. I was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And then they were like, "Oh, we didn't realize that you were that age. No, but you want to produce?" I was like, no, I'm all right. It's just.
Wait, they took it away?
Well, they offered it and then they went, and I said, but should a person of my age be playing this role? It feels wrong. I was helping them out. And they said, yeah, you're right. You're actually right. We didn't know that you were of that age. I'm like, hey, can I just speak freely in Starsinthehouse? I want everybody out there listening. I want especially the young artists to hear this because you're having some time to put your stuff together and continue to work and train. No matter where you get in your career, no matter where you get in your career, there's going to be, I have a sold movie, but they want an idea of mine. And they want somebody younger. And I just think that's funny. And I think it's important to share, though I'm not putting myself as one foot in the grave. I just think it's important to share to our youth that, New York is, we got to be age appropriate, sure. But LA, man, and I've been lucky enough to be on sets and in roles I'm appropriate for, but you know what I mean? It's an interesting change. There's a question I have for Doc when he gets on about mental. It's okay to talk about mental health, I'm sure, on this show. I've seen others do it. So, but I went for so many years, boys, from, this sounds like champagne problems, and it is, but I went for so many years where and you both know this about me, where I don't stop. It's like, oh, okay, she's doing that and that, double, triple timing. To be put at halt, I have had a real struggle. I have had 3 very big losses as well since I saw you last. And I haven't kind of, that song, I don't know what to do with myself. That's kind of been like, I've got to grieve because that comes up later, got to grieve. And I'm still in it, but and even like I did a virtual concert and I hadn't sung in 2 weeks and I was like, oh my gosh, my muscles. So your muscles, you have to work it out just like you would your bicep or anything else. Why am I being a teacher? I just want everyone to know that no matter where you're at in your career, it's still work. And you still have to work at it. And I went to many, many years ago, I was testing for a TV show, which I can't believe I got, but I did get it. Didn't go anywhere, but I was in the lobby with an Academy Award winning actress. I mean, famous. And I said, and she had her Academy Award with her, and that it would have been someone to play my mother. And I said, are you even here? Why do you even have to audition? Tryouts, what Junie Chino says. Why do you have to try out? I don't get it. She said, oh, not only do I have to try, I have to remind them that I have this. Wow. I have to remind them. And if I told you who it was, you wouldn't believe it. And so I'm just saying, when you say you're going to be an actor, we have to prepare for global pandemics, out of work, mostly, more than not. And rejection is just part of it, no matter what level you're on. And I really wanted to share that with you guys. God's been really good during COVID to me. I have worked, but it's been it's been hard to be put on. Literally, I wasn't wanting for Mena. I just wanted the pause. You know, I just wanted the pause. And, you know, here we are a year later.
Yeah.
I'm looking at your faces, and here we are. Anyway.
It's there's been a lot of I think especially lately, because we were just talking about this, I think yesterday, and I said it's sort of like when you come up to the year anniversary of something like this, which none of us have experienced, but all of us have had to deal with grief and someone that we've loved to have passed away. When you get to a certain age, you've had those people, and there's always those markers along the way when you get to that year point that you're like, this time last year I was with so-and-so and had this experience. And I think getting to this year point, I think for a lot of people that I've talked to, Kristen, it's been a really hard last couple of weeks, like leading up to this anniversary.
What is that?
I think
it's anniversary. It's real now. And now every date that is far forward, we go, oh, we were in the pandemic on that date. It's weird. It's like everything from now on, we were in lockdown. I will lighten it by talking about age. Christine Ebersol talks about how much younger you can be on Broadway. And she said when she turned 50, she said she was Broadway 40, Hollywood in memoriam.
This is why we love her. This is why we okay, so I'm Broadway, what would you say, 40 maybe? I would say Broadway 40. And then Hollywood, I don't know, 85. I shouldn't complain. Boys, I've got so many exciting projects coming up that I've sold that they actually want me in. But it's just the spare time. What I've learned about myself since we began is I don't do good with downtime.
Girl,
and I've had to figure it out.
You keep working to not feel things. That's what my therapist said.
Your therapist is right, and I'm guilty as charged.
Thank you. Caller, her name is Gail. Hey, Chris, we're going to go back to your very first appearance.
Yeah, the very first appearance, I could not believe, by the way, was our episode 11.
I haven't even seen this.
And I'm like, oh, God, that was the Saturday night. That was our very first Saturday night was with Kristen and Josh. It was 11th show. That's number one. Number two, Kristen, do you know which episode number this is right now? When you include our plays in the house and our regional theater and our guest host, which episode do you think this is? Because I just looked it up.
I'm bringing Josh in to see if we can figure it out together. This is Josh.
Hey guys, I have to dug down a little bit.
What do you think?
I say this is episode 351. What do you think?
I'm going to say 347.
We'll say 340.
Are we guessing my weight or what episode this is?
Episode 376.
Wow.
Episode 11. You were there at the beginning, guys.
And you were at the very first Saturday episode.
We were so excited. Remember, we had playbills.
Oh,
they're still on the door.
They're still on the door. Just
we
so
haven't
you know.
taken them off.
In New York.
In New York.
Josh is like, we're not removing any of our SNIB playbills or our signs. Where
hold on, David. Oh, that's David. We could not do it without, and that's basically what we've driven him to.
I love it so much. That was so cute. And we just kept all the signs up. And Josh said, we're not taking anything down until those boys are done, and we'll film it. Because you guys, though I can keep my signs up on the door, and I've been very, very safe traveling. When I've had to travel very expensively. And thank goodness I've been able to do that, because my mom and dad, I needed to see my parents and things. But Josh, you know, we feel grateful that we were there in the beginning. We feel like we were a part of something that gave people light, not us, all of us. And I'm just proud of y'all. You guys already know. I send them weird texts like in the middle of the night on Ambien. I've sent you guys. I mean, you know what I've done. I've sent you guys like, I miss you, or guess what happened today. And I think, God, they must think I'm like. But the mental thing of, and then what happens is, well, I don't really want to do anything.
Right.
I know.
Well, you know, I texted you because we thought of you so much when we had our Love Boat reunion and Gavin McLeod was here.
Your
I was
boyfriend.
devastated to have missed it. Devastated. I love him.
I know.
Yeah, he knows that. We told him that you love him.
Okay, so I found this, or David found this. This is from the very first appearance. You taped it, Josh, and it's so fun. And talk about all the work that you put into it. All the work we put in the very beginning, and now we're like, you know what?
Really did it.
We just take a shower right 1 minute before, and we're here. But
That's what I did.
here it is. It's so fun.
Okay.
Okay.
So we gotta get glammed up for this because if you
That's
watch all the coming attractions from Kristen Chenoweth, she was fully getting glammed up, as you know.
Miss Chenoweth,
With.
15 minutes.
Thank you.
Miss Kirsten. 5 minutes.
Kristen Chenoweth.
Miss Chenoweth, places.
Thank you.
Sounding good, sounding warmed up. Are you going to be singing that high? Regardless, she finally got everything together. She gargled, she got dressed, and here she is, Miss Kirsten Chenoweth.
Hello. Hello.
Kristen, what is this beautiful marble hall you're in?
Well, you know, on Broadway, we have SNIB, right? Saturday night on Broadway. And I decided my evening tonight will be SNIB. Saturday night in bathroom.
Okay, please introduce
myself to death.
Who are you with, dear?
Okay, this is my guitarist, cook, maid, and boyfriend, Josh Bryant.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Josh.
Hi, Josh. Kristen, the outfit is stunning. I wish you were closer to your laptop so I could hear. You could hit the back of the wall. Yeah, I see the outfit. Okay, we're moving on.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I remember putting full bead on lashes.
Mhm.
I had my hair like all done. I mean, I was ready to go.
Yes.
Yeah, we started early that day.
We started early that day. And then as the weeks went on, 6th or 7th week in, I was like,
Yeah.
I wasn't even this nice. I was like, well, no, I always dressed up, didn't I? I don't know.
Yeah, you would.
I don't know.
Kristen, you know, the other, because I have a question for you, because if you remember, I think our first like surprise guest for you was Melissa Gilbert. Do you remember
I'll
that?
never forget it. And
Okay.
her husband, Tim.
Yes. You know, we have Little House on the Prairie on next week.
What night?
Exactly. Thursday night.
Because
Melissa's putting it together.
Mom and Dad and I will want to see it.
Yeah, we have everybody, including Nellie, the role that you should play in the musical.
Oh.
City folk. City folk. Oh my gosh.
But do you have a favorite episode? Because we're putting together the clips. What question? Because I know you're as big of a fan as me. Like there's so many questions to ask. What would you ask?
I would like to ask, of course, my girl Melissa, just this one thing, because she had a lot of lines and she was a little kid. I wondered how, because she was so natural. Do you remember how, like, she's still an incredible actor, but like, do you remember how good she was?
Yes.
Like at that young age. I want to know how long did it take her to memorize her lines, and did she have plenty of time to do so? Who helped her? I want to know, like, who was with her? Was it her mom? Like that. I want to know like that.
I'm writing it down.
I agree. We've been watching the old episodes, and she's incredible.
Tears. She'll cry on cue, that kid.
Yeah.
We were reading about when she first met Almanzo, and she thought it was going to be like Leif Garrett, some boy like a year older, and he was actually 10 years older than her. Leif Garrett, thank you. But she freaked out that he was 25, and she basically hated him. And yet you watch the episode, and she's acting like she's in love with him, but in real life, she was furious and devastated because she was a little girl.
She
She was
had
horrified.
literally had not had her period yet. I mean, she was that
She talks
young,
about it
and
in the
she's like-
book.
and she talks about it because look, Kristen, we've been.
We got that book.
What? I've got to have the book.
We've been well, because she talks about her period.
Oh,
We
She
were
talks
researching
about it.
Oh my gosh. I've got to have that book. I've got to have that book. And also, I don't know if it matters, but the actors who played their mother, seemed, you always wonder, like, did they really get along, or was there that mother seemed like her mother.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, were they close? Obviously he was transformative and an angel on earth. But I wonder, because she's the mother. She was so good. And she treated those kids. I just believe, I was young enough to believe that was real. Remember where I'm from. Like, you could look out my window and it looked like a Little House on the Prairie. Same with
Right.
John.
Yeah.
Her mom's going to be on the show. Her
Karen, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm not missing that.
Okay.
Don't worry, you'll be there. Do you want to show the clip or not?
No, that's okay,
Okay.
because I think we're
We wanted to go.
you have
Yeah, I
someone,
wanted to go
right?
back. Two things I want to do. So first, Kristen, I wanted to show the very first time we ever worked together, and the first time James ever saw you on stage. Now, we didn't even know each other. We knew of each other, and I remember passing you in the hallway and looking at you, and we both had this weird look where we were like, we know who each other are, and then we kept walking. It was so weird because I was like, I know who that is.
Maybe we were on our way and we just thought, we'll deal with that later because we know we're going to be besties.
It was really interesting. It was like, huh. Anyway, I found this clip. I've never seen this clip before. I just happened to find it. I think it's going to freak you out. Let's see
Am
it
I
again.
going to? Oh,
You're
no.
going to love it.
Stories of illness, songs of everything, and everyone talks about change. I have so many songs of people not knowing and throwing out books when things turn out too strange. We rearrange, but you gotta have heart and music. You gotta have heart and music. Heart and music get along. And music make a
That brings back so much. You guys do this. This is your life, don't you? To people. And we always get emotional. Watching Malcolm, I have a little known fact for you. Not to quote Alana Levine, my other bestie, but the little known fact is that Malcolm, and he tells this, so I'm not telling out of school. Malcolm, who was the lead in Bill Finn's A New Brain, was so nervous every night, not just the first night, every night. And he was nervous about his voice, which we don't know why, because he sounds beautiful. And I would every night come early and I would warm him up every night.
I never knew that.
I don't think a lot of people do. I mean, he'll tell you, but I saw him at a concert right before COVID hit. He came to see me in where he's living now. And he said, I couldn't have got through it. I said, wrong. You thought you couldn't get through it. You did it. But that show means so much to me.
Me too.
Oh, really?
I did the very first reading of it, like at the public theater for 1 week. It was Michael Rupert. I mean, I was there from the very beginning. So Maureen Moore had your part first. So it was so cool when you got it. You were both amazing. I know the whole thing.
And for me, it was my very first off-Broadway show when I moved to New York in July of 1998. So that was my first Sunday in New York City, was seeing you, Kristen, at that matinee on that Sunday.
I can't believe it.
How weird the
I
connection.
didn't realize I never had told you that before.
I never knew that either one story. And I just remember being allowed. Lapine directed it with Graciela, and they just kind of let us all play. And I think I played 3 different parts, but the main part was Nancy the Mean Nurse. And when I got, do you guys remember when I had that injury about 8 years ago on the set of The Good Wife? We talked about it before. So I'm in the I don't. This is just because you played the thing. I'm in ICU, and it was a lot more serious than I ever wanted to admit. But when I finally kind of, there was a nurse there. He was a male nurse up there, and he said, "How are you feeling, Miss Chenoweth?" I said, "What happened?" And he said, you got hit real bad." I looked at him, and he goes, "And I'm not the mean nurse." I'm like,
Great.
well, thank you.
Oh my! You remember? The specials today. First up.
Yes.
That was the very opening. So listen, Kristen, the reason I knew about you is because our mutual friend, Richard Rowland, would always say, I'm doing the Fantastics with this girl. She's so funny. She's so funny. Then he was doing Zombie Prom. He would not stop talking about you. And anyway.
I love him so much.
I know, and I miss him so much. I would love to just see him suddenly. It'd be so fun to just see with
I wore my glasses. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. Joshua, was I just talking about?
Don't put the glasses on. Don't.
Honey, you look fabulous.
You look. Wait, here's some Vaseline for the screen. Okay, now you can look. Oh my God. How are you?
I'm the same. How are you?
I see that. Hey, Josh, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Richard.
Oh my gosh. If I might say, we were great together.
We were. And you know what? I knew Kristen before the N came along. You were still Christy when I first met you. Do you remember that? And you were like, oh my God, I gained an N.
Yes, my voice teacher Florence made me put the N to be taken more seriously.
And it worked, apparently. So
thank you. Oh my God, Richard, where are you at? Are you in NYC?
No. Oh God, we have so much to catch up on. I teach at Indiana University in Indiana. So I know lots to catch up on.
When am I being invited? I sing with the symphony. Why can't I do a master class?
Well, then that's why we're going to get in touch after this little
Yes,
time.
we are. And by the way, you look. I know we're not supposed to say, "Oh, you look handsome." Not supposed to lead with that. I'm sure your brain's fabulous, but you look great.
Thank you. It's my ring light, and we all have better lighting, like you said. It's just. It's all wow. This has been. You know what? The last time we saw each other, we bumped into each other when we went to see 9 to 5 at the same night. Do you remember that?
Yes. I loved it because
the last time I saw you.
That was how many years ago?
That was a while.
This is this when you were first hanging out.
Yay!
Oh
my God!
You know what? All those fantastic pictures is like, this is how glamorous showbiz is. Look at the backstage life. It's so beautiful.
Were we backstage at the Sullivan Street?
Yes. I mean, and that's no longer there, unfortunately, but we're still here.
Yes, we are, baby. We are still here.
And then
Kristen, I love seeing your face. I'm so happy.
You did that. So you both did the song from Zombie Prom together in my comedy show. That's when we first really hung out, and I was obsessed. Look
at that. Oh my God.
Oh my God,
There's the cast.
There's Zombie Prom.
Yep.
Oh my God, look at us.
Oh my God. Do you remember the time when we were in that studio at 890 doing the Zombie Prom workshop, and we had those cardboard sets? It was so wonderfully like, here, we found this on the street. Let's use this for our set. Great. Yeah. And you had the entrance right before our big duet or something, and you tripped and fell and did a face plant, and you slid across the Mylar. And the entire audience just went, like the room just stopped. And you got up, and I didn't know what to say because it looked like, I mean, you made that sound of skin hitting like floor of like squeaking, and I had the next line, and I'm going, oh my God, what's my next line? Oh, I remember. Is there a problem? And it was, and we couldn't keep it together for the rest of the scene. That's how professional we always have been.
Well, and because you made it land and works, I landed at work. Our director, do you recall this? Now it's all coming back to me now. Phil McKinley was our director. Bless him. Phil, I loved him so much. He said, keep it. And I said, I can't keep that. I can't. That was complete. Everybody knows I'm accident prone, but you made it work. Do you remember that great duet, "The Voice in the Ocean"?
Ocean that
rang.
called through the black. Yes.
You sang so good in that.
You sang so good. That demo's out there somewhere.
I'd love to hear it.
I know, me too.
He's a
Hey, who's got
blast
the
from
demo?
the past. That was the
Huh?
song, right?
Come on, y'all. Come on, people listening. Somebody's got it.
Someone's got it. Yep.
Hey, Richard, do me a favor. Go to the private chat and read some of the donations. Start at 8:25, where it says, "Thanks for all the podcasts you presented on social media." That's for Kristen. Do you see that? It says, "Thanks for all the podcasts."
Yeah. Do you want me to read that?
Yeah, read underneath. So there's like a line at
You just keep
8:25,
going.
and then read underneath that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And,
So
this-
here's
and we
the
want to
25.
thank
Glenn
Glenn
Gunderson.
Gunderson for matching up to $1,500 tonight.
Yeah. So let's raise it. Go, Richard.
Great. So now, where are my glasses? Thanks for all the podcasts you presented on social media throughout the pandemic. Kristen Chenoweth asked for everyone's phone number last year. What is she going to do with all those phone numbers everyone gave her? Mark from New York, $5. What a year. Appreciate you all. Thank you for getting us through the days. Nicole from Florida, $10.
Oh, we love you, Nicole from Florida.
Yes. Let's see what else. We got, hey guys, how can it be a year already? My birthday is March 17, and it would be the second that I'll be spending with you. Wow.
Uh-huh.
This year, I've asked my friends, family, and social media peeps to donate to the Actors Fund. Yes. As always, thank you. Julie from Los Angeles, $25.
Yay.
And we got one more here. I'm having a scroll problem, but I'm going to try reading this next one. Thank you, Seth and James, for getting us through this past year. Yeah, I agree with that. Thank you. Kristen, you have been my queen since you were Sally. Nora from New York, and she gave $25. And she said, we look forward to seeing Kristen in P-Town this August. Ben and Mark from Virginia gave $100.
Yay, Ben and Mark. Oh my gosh, Ben and Mark, thank you so much for remembering Sally.
Sally, I love that.
Mwah. Golly. Yeah, I don't know how you guys feel in your work. You know, we're all in the same boat. That's the thing. Nobody's in a different boat. We're all in the same one.
Yeah.
But isn't it? Why am I being Debbie Downer? Hasn't it been interesting, Richard, for you, like teaching and how to navigate kids, and they're not getting the same experience that we did? And I'm getting ready to do my Broadway boot camp, and we're doing it virtually, and it's going to be amazing, really well done, because I've learned and watched through the year of how to do this stuff. But how are the kids that you're teaching? How are they doing?
You know, I think for the most part, they're doing really, really well. I think the fact that we're teaching half in person and half online, we're hybrid, and I think that's saved everybody. It's saved me. You know, this is great, but to teach on it has been, you know, the fact that we can be in person is great. So they're good. You know, like everybody else, we're just humans, and we're just trying to like wake up and get through the day. And if we can get our coffee down and get into the studio without, I don't know, I don't want to be too melodramatic, but you know, burning down a building on the way, that's great, you know.
Let's go.
But there are a lot of emotions and a lot of frustrations added into that. So we deal with it day to day. And you made a comment earlier about, you know, working with mental health. That's been huge for us this year. And really making sure that wellness is a part of our daily, as much as we can, our daily check-in, you know, everything, nutritional, spiritual, emotional, physical, you know, we just try to make sure that everybody's doing what they can. And, you know, we're good with, if you're just okay today, that's great. That's all we need to hear. And if you're not okay, that's fine too. You can have a day where you're not okay.
Where do I sign up? Do I pay? I'll re-enter college. No. I'm having troubles. I can't turn my mind off at night.
Yeah.
And I think about all the ideas, and it's good. It's all good what's happened. But, well, I mean, Josh, how do you think I've handled it?
She's done pretty well.
Josh, text me later.
Well.
Richard,
Thanks
peace out. Thank you so much for doing this. We're going to go to John the Pook. We love seeing you, Richard.
Thank you.
I love you, Roland.
I love you, Chenoweth. Good to meet you, Josh. Seth and James, thank you. Happy anniversary. I know that's a weird thing to say with all this, but thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Richie.
Thanks.
Bye, hon. See you soon.
Kristen, you're coming out here soon. Bye.
Invite me.
Yes, Queen. Masterclass.
Oh my gosh, that made my day.
We need one more photo. Yeah, look. Oh my God.
Oh my God, look at the bangs.
I did it with it's so weird because I did it with both of them when I was playing piano for, but I didn't do it with you. They were in it forever.
I was there like, you were, how long were you there?
I was there early. I was there like 1993, like before you moved to New York. I know, right when I got out of college, even though we're the same age. Talk about it privately. All right, Kristen, you guys take a break. By the way, I wore this shirt for you, Chris. 70s, Regal Beagle.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
I love it.
Okay, you guys go take a break. We're going to talk to Dr. John LaPook. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Jimmy?
Please welcome to Stars in the House, Dr. John LaPook.
Hi, guys. Bring back Kristen for 1 second.
Okay,
If
Kristen,
you
1,
would.
2, 3.
Um,
And Josh.
hi.
Hi, honey.
You know, I was so happy to hear you talking about mental health, the importance of that, and of an integrative, holistic approach. And I was thinking as you were talking, and maybe I missed it earlier, but you know, I remember about a year ago, a little over a year ago, I interviewed you for a CBS This Morning podcast about chronic pain and how you were handling that. And I can't help but think, you know, you are used to handling chronic pain. This is a different type of pain, of emotional pain, longer, and you have an outlook that could probably inform other people through this. I mean, I see that smile on your face, but I know that that's not always what's.
Well, I texted you. By the way, everybody should know that John and I have a relationship outside. Not an outside. We're friends, and I've texted you before and just said I just can't believe it. We're still here, and why can't I? And you have been such a inspiration to not just me, to everybody. We want to hear from you. We need to hear from you. I know you say it's the beginning of the end.
In the good sense, not the beginning of the end in the bad sense.
Yeah, because I mean, if Jesus is coming, I'm ready. But I'd still like to live some, you know.
I think it's so important to be able to acknowledge I'm just down. Like I'm a very up person, you know, a zippity doo-dah kind of guy.
Yeah.
I'm feeling zippity doo-dah, you know, this past year, and I wake up times, you know, during the day, and I'm just feeling down, and it wears on you, and I think you have to acknowledge that, and so that it's not, because it can sneak up on you. I think this whole feeling, and
that's what happened.
That can happen with you.
Kristen, is she frozen? Kristen, you know what helps me is to remind me what the people who have gotten me through hard times, and this is what's on our wall in our dining room.
Oh my gosh!
All of you are up there.
There we are. There's Bender too.
And the top of my dog Ash, may he rest in peace.
I remember. I'd like a copy of that.
Yeah,
me too. Yeah,
those are the things that helped me get through, because we were all there together in the beginning of all this.
Weren't we?
I think it's so, to me, I've been so, you know, how blown away I've been. I feel like I'm the audience, you know, I'm watching these unbelievably talented people, and so I get to be, and I'm like that person who's pulled out of the audience. But I also think it's very emotionally intelligent of you and other people who have been on to acknowledge the sadness, because you know, it's not a play, it's not a musical, it's not like gray skies are gonna clear up, but on, you don't want to hear that right now. You know, you don't want to put on a happy face. If you're seeing over 500,000 people dead, and multiply that by how many people are affected by each and every one of those deaths, you have an enormous toll, and it's taken on us physically and psychologically. And I think the more we acknowledge that, I think the better off we'll be. Even though it's painful in the moment, we have to say, we're going through this, and be present about it. But there is this really hopeful future, which I'm feeling and seeing much more right now. So we're getting, anyway, I wanted to thank you for that, because I know you have this big, wonderful, terrific, infectious, in the good sense, smile. But I also know that a little bit about what's behind it in terms of your physical pain. And I love the lesson that you give, and the model that you provide for the rest of us. So
thank you, Doc. Thank you.
All right.
Anyway, that's my. And hello, Josh. You're good too.
Hey, buddy.
I just love you so much. Thank you. A lot of people needed to hear that from you because, yeah, people think it's rainbows, unicorns, and glitter. And I've had a difficult time. I'm not special. Everybody's had a good time, a hard time.
Yeah.
I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I just haven't known what to. If I have downtime, I've struggled. I've struggled.
Yeah. Well,
I lost my, not long after I left you guys, I lost my best friend on Mother's Day. And then you all know my longtime voice teacher, Florence Birdwell, recently passed. And then another friend of mine. And I was like, how come people don't think this is real?
it's a hoax. Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, not to go down, but I'm going to keep their memory alive. I'm doing some tribute music, and it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah. We'll come out of it, but we are coming out of it. We are.
Okay.
We just have to do everything right. From there's opportunity. There's a real window of opportunity now.
I will.
Yeah.
I'm going to, and if in the South, just so you guys know, I had to go home for a 10 people gathering for John, so that we could. I couldn't not. I just couldn't do it. I had to be there. And I think, and I don't mean to overtake this little section, but I think that I'm going to be able to really mourn when I can sing. Does that make sense?
No, of course. Yes. And, I will be able to mourn. People need to realize this is a time of prolonged, you're in emergent mode, adrenaline, cortisol. It can't last for too long. So after the first few months of that kind of goes away, but you're still in a pandemic. And that's where the anxiety and the depression can has soared, across the country. That's been.
I've definitely, and it's not something I easily talk about because again, people don't want to hear my problems and I have a great life and I've been given a lot of blessings. I work my butt off for them, but depression has been a real thing for me. I've never really had anxiety. Golly, I didn't mean to turn into this, y'all. Sorry.
This is great. This is
Great medical segment. Are you
gonna be
kidding?
my medical the medical session. It's great. Keep going.
Okay. I never had anxiety. I think maybe once when I was in my 20s, I had something that might have been similar to it, but I snapped out of it. And I just was never the kind. I've always been an emotional person, especially, doctor, after the accident, how my brain sort of still is recalibrating even now. But I've never had anxiety. And I mean, I've battled depression for sure, but I'm usually like, I'm pulling out my big girl panties. I'm okay. Josh has been my rock. I've had to daily say to what I do is thank God, but I've had to work at it. And sometimes I've done it bitterly. Thank you for this. Thank you for that. Even if I'm just saying it. I just have to say it because I know there's so much to be thankful for in all of it.
Yeah.
So it's such a hard thing.
And you know something, Kristen, you helped. I guarantee you've helped people in the last 5 minutes.
Absolutely.
Because removing the stigma from mental health issues is so important. And I actually learned later in life, maybe than I should have, about opening up to a loved one. I have this image, this metaphor in my mind. The mosh pit in a concert where somebody
Yes.
and they get caught. So I have this idea of the emotional mosh pit where you do that emotionally to a friend or a loved one. And guess what I found out? First being taught by my wife, Kate, they catch you.
They catch you.
They don't step aside and let you hit the ground. And the first time you do that, which can be an uneasy, unsettling feeling, and you're caught.
It feels good.
So I think for people out there, try the emotional mosh pit. It's never let me down.
I'm gonna try it, and I'm gonna say EMP, emotional mosh pit. Gosh, is it wrong if I go to dinner and I'll be like, "Hey, y'all, I know you're all strangers, but I'm gonna do emotional mosh pit right now." Yes. But thank you for that advice. That's really important, and I'm listening.
Okay, all right. So great to talk to both of you.
You too. Love you.
I can do that.
Well, John, I mean, is there another update, and we want to give Kristen and Josh a break, or we
Yeah,
got a video?
you know,
Okay,
what-
video.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Kristen, and
why don't
Josh,
you just show
we'll
this?
see
Yeah,
you in
so
a
this
minute.
Sunday, I've been working for a month. When you crash a 60 minutes piece, you know, we could take a year or 2 or 3 for a piece. We did this in like 3 or 4 weeks with an amazing set of producers, Denise Chetta and Katie Brennan, Amy Birnbaum, and Debbie Rubin, all helping to put this together with Mike Mandela, who's an amazing editor. So we have a piece on variants of concern that's going to be on this Sunday. And the whole idea is we spoke to experts across the country, across the world, really, and to try to put it in perspective, they're variants of concern, not variants of panic.
Good.
Here is the promo for it. Take a look.
All right,
Thank you.
What do new COVID variants mean for you and your family?
Is there anything we can do to stop the virus from mutating so much?
A 60 Minutes report you won't want to miss.
You just got to hang on and don't blow it at the end. We're going to get there, but this is not the moment to relax.
60 Minutes Sunday on CBS.
So cool.
And Mike Mangala was the editor for this, and Mike did an unbelievable job. So yeah, I mean, we put it all out there. I mean, we got nothing left.
First of all, A, I can't wait to see it. B, I'm glad it's going to relax me. And C, speaking of 60 Minutes, Kristen, I have to bring you back for your 60 Minute story. Kristen Chenoweth, hold on. Camera back on, please. Christy Don Chenoweth. Hold on. Christy.
I'm coming.
Oh, there. Kristen, he just showed a clip from 60 Minutes. Can you please talk about how 60 Minutes ruined your life?
I was running as Miss Oklahoma City University for the Miss Oklahoma pageant, which is where I'm from, a big deal. Not in the East Coast, in the South. So I get to my interview question, and there's something going on with Andy Rooney, some sort of scandal or something. And the judges say, what is your take on 60 Minutes? On TV. What is the 60 Minutes, the TV show? And I said, I think it's a good amount of time. Right then, I saw all the judges go, and I had the crown. It was within reach, and then I lost it.
Oh, I'm so on behalf of 60 Minutes. You know, you weren't just being ironic. This is before people being ironic.
Right.
No, this is just having a dumb old blonde moment. I was like, I think it's a good amount of time. To this day, my brother Mark Chenoweth will be like, "You think it's a good amount of time?" It's really funny.
God. You know something? There's a not to compare you to like an 11-year-old girl, but there's a letter from, I think she's an 11-year-old girl that's written to 60 Minutes. It says just one sentence: "Why don't you call it an hour? Why do you call it 60 minutes? Why don't you call it an hour?" It's on the wall somewhere at 60 Minutes. I love it.
She's going to rule the world one day.
No, it's very concrete, but it was as sweet as could be. You know. Anyway, I think we tried to thread the needle with this because there are variants of concern. We're worried about, you know, what does it mean to us? But we try to, you know, we're not sugarcoating anything. We're telling you like it is. We're giving you the facts, but we're putting it in perspective. You know, there are things that we can do right now. And I'll give you the punchline. These variants, the virus mutates at a certain rate. It's not mutating any faster now than it did before. It's just that there are so many trillions of viruses out there that it's replicating so often. And when it replicates, it can make a mutation, makes a mistake at copying itself. Sometimes those mistakes, the mutations, team up, one or more of them, to form a variant of concern. It's a variant of concern because it makes the virus more infectious, more deadly, or more able to evade your immune system, whether your immune system's was infected before and now you have an immune response, or whether you got a vaccine. Well, the way that you stop variants of concern is to stop spreading the virus from one person to the other. If you don't spread it, it can't replicate. If it can't replicate, it can't make a mistake. If it can't make that mistake or mutation, it can't form a variant of concern. So vaccinate, wear the mask, you know, social distancing, outside safer than inside, wash your hands, and make sure that indoors you're wearing masks if you're not with somebody who's in your pod, even if it's 20 feet away, because We've talked about the aerosols. They can waft across the room in tiny particles, and they can accumulate over time, especially if there's poor ventilation, just the same way that smoke can go across the room. If somebody's smoking 20 feet away, you can smell it. So it's the same stuff we've been talking about, but now it's for a different reason. Now it's for variants of concern cannot persist. They will go down if there's not the opportunity for it to divide. Right. So we really have an opportunity to help ourselves right now.
Wear a damn mask.
Just people wear a mask. I speak to my Oklahomans. I speak to my friends in Arkansas and Alabama and Georgia and all of them. Wear the mask. Put it on. Put on your mask.
It's hard to fathom a time where during a public health emergency, you have the public health message, which is clear, being different than what the political message is. I mean, why is wearing a mask politicized? Why is avoiding crowds during a pandemic politicized?
I don't know.
It became politicized, and it's going to be, it is one of the great tragedies of this pandemic, aside from the tragedy that would have existed. But the fact that it was all exacerbated by the fact that we were not all rowing in the same direction is something that is still hard to fathom. As you see parts of the country opening up like a light switch, it's not a light switch, it should be a dimmer switch. You want to open up gently because it looks like it's low amounts of cases in that area. Okay, I'll open it up a little more. What happened now? I'm going to do some testing. Oh, it looks okay. Open it up a little more. Wait a second, cases are going up. Turn it down. But you can't say, we're open, we're open. You can't do that. You have to be able to call an audible.
Thank you for just explaining it, because the variant, there's actually a musical term too, and I was like, oh, variant. I got so upset when I heard, you mean there's more tentacles? Oh, I was like, you know.
I'll finish with this to make you feel a little bit, I'm stealing from the 60-minute piece, but I'll tell you, you heard about the UK variant, the one in South Africa and the one in Brazil. The UK variant, at least in the test tube in the lab, seems to be covered pretty well by the Pfizer and Moderna. Still pretty good immune response, these neutralizing antibodies. South Africa, a little bit less of a concentration of the neutralizing antibodies, but still looks to be good enough to probably prevent infection. Now, to offer protection, especially from serious disease. So Tony Fauci talks about lower antibodies levels, but you still have a buffer. You still have enough to go, right? The South African variant in the Johnson & Johnson trials, also that vaccine seems to elicit a little bit, somewhat less protective amount in terms of protecting against infection and in the lab, you know, against infection. However, it does what you want it to do. It protects very well against serious disease, hospitalization, and death. So the punchline from all this is we're in a place now, we're finding out the Pfizer vaccine seems to work in the lab pretty well against the Brazilian variant. We're okay right now so far. The New York City variant, we're figuring out. But we can't, you know, Dr. Dupre, who you'll see on 60 Minutes tomorrow, talked about death by 1,000 cuts. And what he meant by then was, you know, if the efficacy of a vaccine is 95%, and then there's a variant and it's 88%, and then it's 66%, and then you don't want to let it go down there. So right now, it seems like we're still pretty good, pretty protected, and we just have to get the vaccine, get the vaccine, get the vaccine, and the numbers of the virus down, and that's the way we're going to beat it.
And stop it spreading by wearing a damn mask. Thank you, Dr. LaPook. See you tomorrow.
We love you, Black Doc.
Love you too.
Bye.
He's great.
Seth.
We're going to bring on Kristen, one of your collaborators, the brilliantly talented, not only a composer and a lyricist, but such a great singer. Please welcome the amazing Andrew Lippa.
Andrew.
Hello, hello, hello.
He looks so handsome always.
Oh,
why can't you be straight? I don't get it.
Josh is listening.
There to hear that.
Josh agrees.
Josh
agrees.
Oh, sweet. Nice. Why isn't he gay?
Turns it on its head.
I love it. It's frozen.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the perfect time for it to be frozen.
Andrew.
Yes,
Andrew.
my love.
Whenever you say that, it makes me think of the boyfriends in my past who enjoyed my shoes, which just shall always be a red flag. So please don't say that.
That's a good bookend of this evening's performance, because that shoe purse, whatever it's called, the purse, is really that I would use that at an opening. If there was an opening to go to, I would use it. You know, I want to say you guys are amazing. I want to make sure that before the program ends that I say I'm also someone who says thank you to Seth and to James, and what an extraordinary accomplishment it is to raise almost $750,000 in a year. That's an astonishing amount of money, because all of that money goes to help people who really need the assistance in all kinds of ways all across the country. You guys are heroes in this pandemic, and it will always be on record that you helped save lives. And we're so happy. I'm speaking on behalf of my friend Kristen Chenoweth. We're so happy to be part of a small part of making that happen. So thank you for having us on your show. And I also want to say, you're welcome. Dr. LePuc is inspiring. On Tuesday of this week, I got my first injection in my left arm.
Yay!
Very pleased. All of our listeners, I imagine all of the people watching, or most of the people watching this show, are going to not be anti-vaxxers. But if anybody's out there wondering whether you should take the vaccine, I'm here to tell you, I got the first shot of the Moderna, and I feel fine. And Kristen Chenoweth thinks I look handsome, and I have a nice singing voice, according to Seth. And none of that changed. So go get your vaccine when it's your turn. Go get your vaccine. Keep wearing your mask. If everybody just behaved like they did in New Zealand, this would be over.
Exactly.
You know, by the way, I love everything you just said, Andrew Lippa, and there are some crazy anti-vaxxers out there. I mean, they're not crazy, but they're hearing a lot of misinformation. And one of the misinformations is, the vaccine was formed so quickly. It was not formed quickly. As Dr. LePuc said, it began in the year 2000, basically. It's an old vaccine that's just been tweaked. It's been tweaked for this, but it was developed 20 years ago when we had that whole SARS scare. So it's just a new version. It's like basically it's like a yellow cupcake. Instead of vanilla icing, you put chocolate icing. They just tweaked it. So it's been around for 20 years. And speaking of Dr. LePuc,
we want to say from the LePuc family, want to say this for Tuesday, for the 16th, for our anniversary. I want to make sure I get this right. The Frances Lear Foundation, so that's Kate Lear's mom, $10,000 matching donation for Tuesday the 16th.
What?
Frances Lear Foundation.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yay! That's huge.
Yes.
Thank you. That's an amazing match.
We love the LePuc and the Lears.
Yes.
Awesome.
LLs. Okay, now back to something shallow. How did you decide to turn Tiger King into a musical?
That was not shallow. That was brilliant.
Okay.
Talking about anxiety. You know, Christian, you don't have anxiety because you're not Jewish. But I have plenty of it, and I've been on medication for years, and it works. Thank you, God. I was going to say thank you, Jesus, because I am Jewish.
He's there too. There too.
I know, correct. I can say thank you, Jesus. I do all the time. I say thank you, Jesus, right after I say thank you, Kristen Chenoweth. And priorities. Jesus didn't sing my new philosophy. Let's face it.
And you on the map.
And you know what happened was a year ago, like everybody else, you think I'm high energy now. I'm 56 years old. Imagine what I was like a year ago. And it was so disorienting. And I'm so fortunate that I have a small home I can go to in New York City, but I live full-time in Columbus, Ohio, and made that decision to be with my fiance. We'll talk about that later. Or we can talk about that now. I don't have a ring yet, but anyway,
we got to work on that.
Yeah, he does though. So like that, but I didn't need a ring. It's fine. And so, yeah, don't start filling the chat with
Andrew. I think the lyric is, "I don't need a roof."
I'm changing it, and because I wrote it, I can change it. And so I was quite out of my mind, like many people, in the sense that, and I don't mean to make fun of emotional issues, but I wasn't sleeping. I was frightened. I was concerned about my family, all of the things that everybody was going through. Yeah. We didn't have solid information. We didn't have consistent information like you guys have been able to help give to people. And so I found myself asking, how am I going to spend my days? Because I was here in my house, and I'm fortunate that I didn't have to be anywhere every day, but I also didn't have to be anywhere every day. And I'm lucky that I serve as the president of the board of the Dramatists Guild Foundation, as we've talked about on this program before. And we've also been working much like you guys and the Actors Fund to give out money. We've given over almost $1.5 million in the past year to writers in the theater who need our help, and started the Mental Health and Wellness Fund in December that has been used by a number of people. And we're so thrilled. It's the first time we've ever been able to give anything resembling healthcare to dramatists across the country. And so that work was really buoying at the time. And then I found I wanted to be creative, but what I didn't want to do was write poor me, woe is me, the world is ending kind of material. And I thought, what would be the opposite of that? And I watched the Tiger King show in, like, Tom and I watched it in one long marathon, and I wrote a song. I think even before I wrote it, I called you, right, Christy? And I said,
yeah, and I was like, I've already inhaled it.
Yeah. I said, I want to write a song for the Tiger King. She's, I'll do it. You know, I'm like, okay, that's all I need is for her to say she'll do it, and then I'll write it. That's how all writing happens. Don't believe anybody else when they tell you they write because they feel something. They write because someone's going to do it.
That's right.
Or pay for it, or both. And so,
wait a minute, just to cut you off,
Chris, and I've been meaning to talk to you about that second part. And she said she would do it. And so out of nowhere, like, she too was locked in her house and didn't have anything to do at the time, right? You didn't have any TV work at the time, and we didn't know, nothing felt safe. So she made that insanely good video in her apartment in Los Angeles, climbing into her dog crate. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Kristen,
I loved it.
Okay, so a couple of things, Kristen. Who costumed you, first of all?
Myself.
Yeah, come on.
Now, cool. Who choreographed you?
Myself.
Yeah, come on, Orson Welles.
So,
and then Josh shot it. He was my director.
Josh was the DP and the director and the technical director. And then my wonderful friend Simon was the video editor and put the whole thing together from England. And Mike Kreuter did all the mixing, and Tom, my fiance, played all the saxes, and I did all the tracks. And there it is, done. Check it out. It's called I forget what it's called. Little Pieces. Thank you. Little Pieces. And it's on YouTube. And then Frankie James Grande, who's a friend of Christie's, contacted Christy and said, oh my God, you have to give me Lipa's email address because I want to do one. And so I wrote one for Frankie, and he does one that is really, really
genius,
silly and fun. And the whole thing was really quite wonderful. And there was a period in the spring where we got other writers to write some. Ingrid Michaelson wrote a really hilarious one for Will Chase, and called Tigers and Young Men. It's a really funny and wonderful song, beautifully produced song as well. And a number of other writers wrote songs for it. Carmel Dean wrote one, and it was really quite wonderful. And then I started having like cursory conversations with producers about, do you want to do this as a show? Like, should we develop this as a show? And I'm like, no, like that, no.
It's what it is.
Yeah, it's one and done. So that was,
I think we have, I don't know if this is the whole thing. David, is this the whole video or part of it? I'm not sure, but I'm going to play it and we'll see. We'll soon find out.
Oh, awesome.
Pieces, little pieces, not a trace of what went on. Be the tigers, little pieces of my dear departed dawn. When it's over, they will ask me, did I kill the man or not? And the answer I will give them, while the truth is being chewed on, will come out in little pieces, until little pieces are all we got.
That was obviously your New York apartment. I said LA apartment before. Wow. I mean, the truth is, like, if we really were going to do the whole thing as a musical, I'm like, It was fun. That was really fun to do.
Didn't we have a good time? It was like we were working on our next Broadway show. But then I want to tell people though, Andrew, and maybe I'm jumping the gun here, but then tell everybody what you wrote after and what that meant.
So before I say that, the end of the Tiger King thing was, it was the friends and the family who we connected with who really got us through this, who have gotten us through this whole year. And Kristen is one of those people who is always there for me. And when we get to creatively meld, it is emotionally and spirituly good work. And I don't mean that in the it's a haul. I mean that it gets into us. Like I feel healed by working with Kristen. And every time we work on anytime we work on anything together, that kind of work happens. So for us, I think it was also, you were talking about mental health. I think our way of, it sounds kind of nutty, but it was a way of expressing good mental health by letting ourselves go a little bit and filming and writing and performing this really, really a silly thing, and in this inspired silliness kind of thing, or stupendous silliness, whatever you want to call it, serious silliness, as Jerry Zaks calls it, and I think that's I find that so important. In fact, I called Jerry Mitchell just the other day after some conversation we had that inspired me, and I wanted to talk to him about it as a potential idea for a musical. And I said, you know what I'm really interested in right now is a screwball comedy. Like that's what I really want to do, is a screwball.
I want to see it.
You want to see it? You want to be in it? Like I think that's what we want. That's what I want to do. But to answer what Kristen was saying, a little while into the pandemic, I have a long and wonderful association with the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus, and we had a conversation about me writing a piece for them, and I wrote a piece that immediately I knew it was a soprano solo with men's chorus, and of course, who am I going to call? Ghostbusters. And so I called. You have to be a certain generation, I suppose, for that one. And I called Kristen. I said, here, do you have time to record this? Would you want to do this? And God bless you, she never says no to me. And so we recorded a piece called "What Will We Hear," which really was a more serious response to the notion of COVID-19, but not only about the COVID-19 vexing us, but anything that vexes us as a society. So it came out late summer, and we were, as a culture, we were deeply engaged in the political climate, of course, but we were deeply engaged in Black Lives Matter, in racial justice and equity. We've long been engaged in LGBTQ rights. We've long been engaged in women's rights. We've been talking about these things for a long time. And to write that kind of art, to make art that also, Anne Hutchinson, Harvey Milk, the big piece we did in 2016 in Washington, that's the kind of thing that when those opportunities come up, I really love grabbing those and making them.
Well, your lyric, the very first lyric of the song, you guys, you should, I would like to tell everyone to go check it out, because I knew I had to do it because of the lyric. When this is over, what will we hear? Will we hear silence? Will we hear laughter? Will we embrace? It asks all the questions of how are we going to behave? And when I read it, and then I saw all the guys singing, it's just it's a tearjerker, but it's also one full of hope. And that's what I appreciated about LIPA. We have other projects that we work on all the time, and even now. But that piece, and I recorded it in my closet. That piece, and I finally came out.
Oh my God, I was good. You have
that piece changed it helped me. I had to go to Canada for 3 months after that, and of course I wanted to go work and have the experience, but that piece helped me get through the fall.
Kristen and Andrew, before we go, there's some donations. If one of you wants to read them, because Andrew, are you going to play?
Yeah, he's going to
sing.
Yeah.
If we still have time and you want me to do a number, I'm happy to. But if we don't have time, then also that's totally fine. But this is how I get to audition material for Kristen Chenoweth, so it's really a great opportunity for me.
Great. So why don't one of you read the donations? David put them up on the private chat at 8:37, and then Andrew sing us in conclusion here. And we want to thank Glenn Gunderson for the matching again.
Yes, Kristen got her glasses on.
So Kristen,
I've got my glasses on. I'll read a couple. How's that?
A cold read. Cold read.
Hi, team. ... Can't be thankful enough for all your hard work / amazing. Seeing Kristen live on your Broadway was such a pinch me moment. Hope we may see y'all in New Zealand sometime. $30. Been watching and donating since the beginning. Last year I was supposed to be in Philadelphia. Yeah, I was supposed to be at the orchestra. Enjoying Kristen. It was canceled. Hope she'll be back. Matt from New Jersey, 25. Thank you. Catherine from Oklahoma, $50. Aaron R. As my husband Ben wrote earlier, I look forward to seeing Kristen in P-Town this summer. I can't wait for you to start another Broadway show. I also love to listen to Seth every day. Karen from Oklahoma. Now listen, Karen, have you considered changing your name? Okay. That's it.
Just to point out, the one who's seeing you in P-Town is Mark, who gave $100, and Karen from Oklahoma gave $100. That's absolutely amazing. So quickly, I'll tell you what this song is before we close out tonight. Thank you for asking me to sing something, Seth and James. So I've been fortunate. I've been creative during this period, and a lot of the work that I do happens here in this little corner of my room, and I can do it online. I can share the work online. And people can record stuff. I'm working on a number of projects. This one is from a television show that's in development. What you're going to hear is it's a show where there is it centers at some point around people making a musical, and this is the musical within the show. And the musical within the show is the story of Galileo Galilei, who realized that the Earth was not the center of the world, but the sun was the center of the universe. And this was a radical notion. And this song is sung by his mistress, Marina. And she is in the room the very day that he is presenting his findings to the court and the tribunal that have accused him of heresy. And he's got to prove his way out of this. And this is her inner thoughts as she watches him and what he is doing.
And how old is Marina? Just out of curiosity.
Marina's, she's ageless.
Perfect.
Ageless.
And Andrew, remember, you've heard me sing before, and I'm available and ready for anything you do.
There's so
Done. Love it.
Jockeying.
That's right. I'm right with
He
Kristen.
was in the Wild Party. Wonderful. And so Marina sings this inner monologue of a song, and here it is. I'm just adjusting the volume, and here we go. He stands and makes his case for all to see, but he won't notice me, not really notice me. He shows the world the wondrous why and how, but he won't love me now, not really love me now. Much bigger things are on his mind, consume him night and day. And if I ask for more from him, he'd likely walk away. So should I learn to be content, stay endlessly beguiled, or like him be deliberate when revealing it's his child? Then he'll know, he'll finally know that he's the center of the world, the center of my heart, a talent who can love me as he's tearing me apart, a scientist, a madman, and a lover all in one, for me, the center of the world. He'll prove his theory in his measured way, and maybe win the day. He might just win the day. With every chart, hear every skeptic buzz. Now that's what genius does. That's what my genius does. With surgical precision, his research won't be denied. His arguments are well observed, his logic simplified. When all of this is said and done, he'll be the hero then. But saddled with a baby, he'll be just like other men. So I'll go, and he'll never know. Oh, and the computer stopped right in the middle. Hold on. It stopped right in the climax. Never know that he's the center of... For some reason, the computer is acting crazy, and maybe it's telling me it's time to stop the song. But she sings the chorus one more time, and then at the end of that, it cuts away and it goes back to the actual show. And then the song "Center of the World" becomes a thematic idea in the show itself, where it's sung in the show, and it's used as a voiceover and about one of the sub stories in the main show about somebody who's the center of somebody else's world. And so that's how the songs intermingle. They sometimes are in the show within the show, and they are sometimes of the larger show.
Okay, I love it. Number one. Number two, we just have to do, this just means, Andrew and Kristen, that we have to do another SNIB at some Saturday night in the future. We'll talk more about the Harvey Milk piece. We will.
Yes, I really want to.
Andrew.
Yeah,
I have to.
I'm in. I what am I doing on Saturday nights? Hanging out with you guys is the best thing I got going.
And I'm not really done with Anne Hutchinson. I got to do her once. I'm not really done with her yet. And so I'd love to discuss that and why I'm not done with her.
That's wonderful.
I love it.
I'd be happy to discuss that.
Me too.
You guys are adorable. Before we go, Kristen, put your glasses back on.
He's my bestie. He's my bestie.
Why are you mixing it? Read the rest of the
bestie. Is that better?
Yeah. Thank you.
And of course, we are at some point.
Up the octave. Ninth, where it says hi, right there, Kristen.
Andrew.
Go to the private chat, please.
I see it. Hi, Seth, James, Christy, Dawn. Wondering what the cliffhanger will be on tonight's season finale. Congratulations on an amazing first year. Looking forward to season 2. Jay from Florida, $18. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Kristen, for the girls' show in New York was a wonderful way to celebrate my 50th birthday. Such a wonderful conversation night. Honesty is the best policy. John from Missouri, $20. Thank you, Missouri. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing your struggles with migraines. Oh, I know. Resulting in my using Botox. Oh, I know. I use Botox now in other places that I quite enjoy. So grateful for y'all's honesty. Of course, Scott from Seattle, $25. Thank you, Scott. Donating in honor of my Miss-State Capital, because I was Miss-State Capital for Pennsylvania, because when I didn't win Oklahoma because I thought it was rigged, I went to Pennsylvania and competed and lost there too. Donating in honor of my Miss-State Capital. Oh my gosh, miss hugging you in person. Paul from Pennsylvania. Paul, $25. I love you so much.
No,
Paul.
$50. Yeah, look.
Paul, thank you so much. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't win for us. I'm sorry I didn't, but we don't really know what the winner's doing.
I know, but if you had one, he would have given 2,500. So I mean, there is that.
I know. Thank you, Polly. I love you.
Next time. All right, guys. Thank you so much, everybody. Tuesday's our 1-year anniversary. We've got a $10,000 matching donation that night. Tonight, we've got to thank Glenn Gunderson. This is the third night he's actually matched.
That's true.
Thank you, Glenn.
We love you, Glenn. Oh, Glenn. We love you so. What's that from?
Carry it with you across the blue sea. It sounded like Mother, oh Mother, from a chorus line, but what was it?
Jimmy.
Oh,
yeah,
Jimmy.
it was.
Oh, Jimmy. Oh my God, it's the same song.
Oh, it was.
You're right. It was
song.
the
Oh my God. It's like that argument about like "Run, Freedom, Run" is really gonna build a mountain.
Mountain. Gonna build a mountain. You guys, peace out. Bye, Josh. Great seeing you also. Bye, Andrew. Bye. Bye.
We'll talk soon. Text me later, y'all, and text me later, Lips.
Yes, I will. I will. Love you all.
Okay, we're gonna run our closing credits
on Tuesday.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Credit.
What's that?
You
you go, your Maggie is missing you so. Jimmy is Jimmy, oh Jimmy, oh what joy, you are a real strange guy. So I know that you won't bore me. What the hell? I'm out.